rules. Quit talking about other people. If you see somebody driving around in a great car and it look like they're acting different, living different, yes, because they're living by different
Hallelujah.
rules. Quit talking about
Their
them
language has
because,
changed.
right? Because the moment you get to that level, guess what will happen to you?
You will change too.
You change too if you're going to be successful at that level.
It is amazing how you brought it right back full circle.
Yes.
So now at that level that level is progress and not just change.
Thank you.
So it's change meeting up with progress that makes you a different person. I'm a different person. you know, this body, this is the real hindrance. This is the real hindrance. Because thought is about spirit, and confession is about spirit. You don't see what I'm saying. Right. You hear what I'm saying. Right. And the more you hear what I'm saying, now it develops the ability for you to see what I'm saying. It's spirit. And those thoughts come to us from God, from the spirit realm, and gets trapped in this finite body and hindered. And so God is saying, or these thoughts are saying that we can break past this and do great things, but our circumstances, which have been lying to us, tells us that this is impossible. You said that they went up and they were in agreement with one another, and they went up. Right. And they went into heaven. And then you said that's a whole nother discussion. Right. They went into heaven. When they got into heaven, the linguistics, the language of heaven is different.
Yes.
The language of heaven is different. And so you went on to say that God didn't change their mind. He just changed their language and he called it Babel. Right. He always intended for us to communicate with him at that level. So 2,000 years later, he comes back with the language that he took from them and gave it back to us at Pentecost in another tower in a room called Upper. But now we're willing to glorify him. Right. So when our thinking and our linguistics, our language and the meaning of what we're saying glorifies God, then we understand the different power, the authority, and the different rules at the different level. Right. You got my head messed up with the rules. The rules change. You can't come up into this domain with a wrong heart.
Now, there's a realm. There's still a spiritual realm. It's still a spiritual connection. And it's where word agrees with word. And see, when you have another person who's willing to speak the same thing that you speak, you all become a spiritual partner. You begin to pray together. You begin to talk together. You begin to confess together. And that becomes a bond that cannot be broken. Now, what's important with that? That kind of bond gets God's attention. A yes to the Lord. Now, this is important. You say yes. Now, when we say yes, we're saying, listen, I'm in agreement with you, even though I got to struggle with it.
Yes.
I may have to struggle for the next week.
Yes.
Now, what do I do during that struggle? I now have to convince myself.
Yes.
I have to talk to myself.
You can do if you can see the impossible, you can do the invincible. That's what they were saying. They were talking about how that if you can see the invisible, you can do the impossible. Right. Yeah. If you could just see beyond what I'm saying and see that everything that you desire is standing there waiting for you to push your hand through this dimension of the world and pull it out of the unseen into the now, not only will you see it, but it will be the evidence of things never seen before. That universal truth of standing in agreement with first yourself and secondly with touching someone else, some sort of way touching something that believes equally in you. It's the affirmation factor. It's the factor of having a person from a different experience that so heard what you said that they now say, I believe in everything that you're saying, to the point that if you were to transition into death, the person that touched you would keep going what you spoke.
And second, it's purpose. You have to understand that my purpose, I've been called, is for his glory. So everything is going to work for his glory. It ain't about me.
Yes.
It's not about me. And if it's about him and it's about his purpose, it's going to work for our good. Yes. Now, once you believe the lie that it's all about you, and you start reading your own press and thinking you're all of that and believing all of that, then all of a sudden you're going to defend yourself. You want to get out there. You're going to want to make it right. You want to do this. You want to do that, and you run into a problem. What you want to do is to understand this is all about God. And he knows how to turn things. Because when it's for his purpose, he turns it.
Yes.
Because you see, what you have to understand is man's attentions amount to nothing. He can attend something to happen, but it will amount to nothing if God attended something different.
Hallelujah.